Gnod. Just say no to the psycho right-wing capitalist fascist industrial death machine. This is a noise rock record that has a lot of anger. Very angry at society. It has bones to pick. It's mad. It's really mad. It's putting its foot down. It's pointing a finger at your nose and saying, this society's fucked up. So yes, while the album title is extremely upfront and blatant, and maybe to a point where someone might have a bit of a chuckle at how completely unsubtle it is, it's a good representation of the general sound and the tone and the ambition of this album. It's being very upfront, very blatant, and not subtle in the slightest. I feel like a lot of people will probably dismiss it because of the message, but whatever. Aside from the track Bodies for Money, which still brings up a pretty good point about the materialistic desires and dependencies of our society, a lot of the music on this album isn't just preaching verbosely this anti-capitalist rhetoric word for word. It has a lot of, I guess, artfulness to the way it delivers its angst. I mean, there's only so much you can really say with shouted bursts of strung together sentences, I guess. On the track Real Man, for instance, we hear occasional heavy instrumental crashing, as usual, interjected by yelled descriptors of a real man who behaves in real masculine ways and smokes real cigarettes. A shot at society's gender norms and stereotypes that we're all expected to conform to, unaware that being forced to fulfill these roles and traits tends to lead to profound unhappiness. First half of the track, Stick in the Wheel, has easily the most blood-pumping, exhilarating performance instrumentally and vocally on the entire record. While the second half kind of melts into a drone piece of sorts. I have to admit that the drone piece is a little bit of a disappointing way to end off the album, considering how drawn out that ending is as well. Consider that the track is over 10 minutes long. It felt a little bit tacked on at the end as just this moment for cooling down after all the noise and the aggression. However, elsewhere I have many compliments for the instrumental performances, the drumming, the very exhilarating guitar riffs that do definitely crunch and bop. Bop? Why am I saying bop? Especially on the opening track, Bodies for Money, as well as the second track. I do love the way that the instrumental really builds up and becomes just more pummeling towards its conclusion. However, I do feel it as if the lead vocalist's yelling is just really distant and far back in the mix. I would have liked to hear what he was actually saying in the foreground a little bit more, because I feel like he has a lot that's interesting to say, it just isn't that audible. And I get the idea that maybe it's supposed to be masked by all the instrumental aggression, but still, I would have liked to hear some of that lyrical aggression as well, considering the title of this record, which kind of suggests that this is a very it has a very clear message to give, and unless you're kind of reading along with a set of lyrics that you're given, which is kind of hard to find on the internet at the moment, that's going to be quite hard. Plus, I guess the overall sound just gets a little repetitive and homogeneous. Even within songs, the main riffs or grooves go on repeat for long amounts of time. To balance that out, however, there is still that cathartic, exciting, unforgiving energy that is so pummeling, it's kind of hard to not really zone out, because it is still a very exciting and exhilarating record. It's just that at times I feel like the core sound of the record just becomes a little... it just kind of wanes a little bit as it goes on. It kind of loses its buzz, if you get what I mean. I'm giving this album an honest 6 out of 10. I still enjoyed it. Maybe could have been improved a little bit.